Ooh, look what that Molly make your bitch do. Look what that Molly, look what the drink make your bitch do.
What is up, boys? Today, thank God. Alright, thank God we finally got a trade, but I'm just happy that we were able to actually get some decent price action today, right? That was the whole point of the intro. But getting real quick into the news, okay? Today's news, we had high impact news, ADP, non-farm employment change, and advanced GDP. And those, I mean, pretty much every single Wednesday of NFP week, you get those two. And, you know, Wednesday is typically an expansion day for, you know, just a weekly profile in general. And I believe that today we did end up forming the high of the week, the Wednesday reversal profile. But, you know, I don't focus too much on that. But, yeah, getting into the day, I did end up making $507 profit today. You know, I'm planning on just de-risking for now until elections are over and volatility is back to normal. You know, just to take precaution and be extra careful, not trying to, you know, lose my fucking accounts, right? So just being smart, capital preserving. And yeah, so going into the day, it is as simple as marking out each and every single session. Once I started doing this, I've started this like a couple weeks ago. Every single time I hop on the charts or any single time I back test and I look at the high time frame and try to figure out what my bias is, I mark out each session start. So 6 p.m. last night, Asia session start, the new day open right here. You see this gap. And we have the 3 a.m., which is London open, as well as the 8:30 New York open, okay? So mark out each of these sessions, and getting more into it and why they're so important is you want to see pretty much where you want to see pretty much what Asia and London did before New York. If you're able to read and predict, or not read and predict, but if you're able to read and see what Asia and London did, you will know what New York is most likely going to do. And this is exactly what happened today. I did get a little confused though, because I did not end up seeing this internal SMT within London session, which would have told me 100% that we are going to distribute lower off rip. But I fixed that error. But no matter what, today I wanted to see lower prices into the equilibrium. But my original thought process sent out to my Discord was that I was looking for a Judas swing, because I did not see this little internal SMT right here. Did not see it, so I expected a retracement higher off of open, form SMT at the high, and then continue lower to the draw on liquidity, which was the equilibrium of yesterday's range, as well as these smooth lows from, you know, yesterday's PM session. Okay, and I ended up fixing it, saying I'm still expecting lows, but no more Judas swing, okay, just because I figured that out, that we had this little... It's the same Mustang every time. Bro, okay, so, yeah, so once I figured out we had this London manipulation, then I expected no Judas swing and just a straight New York distribution lower, okay, and that is exactly what happened, but I'm going to get to that real quick. So, formed the Asia SMT. Typically Asia, I don't really care if there's SMT, but we had when we were holding a SMT from prior week high, which is extremely important, and that is just for a more high time frame approach. You know, I wouldn't expect, you know, seeing Asia manipulate like this, I wouldn't expect New York to just distribute. If there was no London SMT, I would still expect a Judas swing, okay? Asia doesn't really matter when it comes to you know, New York's distribution. I just like to look at Asia for possible targets and to see if it was part of, you know, London's manipulation, if there was one, if that makes any sense to y'all boys. But looking more into the 15-minute BISIs and SIBIs, as y'all know, I love fucking looking at this shit instead of order blocks. We have this 15-minute SIBI formed during Asia session, and you could see the bodies were consistently failing to close above it, okay? We were wicking it, we were mohawking it, and we were failing to close above it and inverse it, which is a good sign of bearish price action, okay? And we were also holding this. We were also holding this 15-minute BISI and continuously, you know, just bouncing off it until we formed this manipulation right here within this internal high. And New York opened right here. Before that, my fault. We ended up inversing the BISI that we were holding so long, inversing it. And then before market open, we retraced, completely rebounced the inversion, 15-minute inversion. New York opened, and we continued lower and distributed. No need for a Judas swing, okay? And, you know, when you see such a large expansion from the prior day, these are great targets to just look for the equilibrium of the dealing range, okay? Because typically, I mean, if you don't really see much of a retracement, or like large, you know, retracements, kind of like a staircase as you go up, this is pretty much just a pump straight up. And there's a lot of things that need to be rebalanced, a lot of inefficiencies within here that need to be rebalanced on the lower time frames. That's just the way I look at it. So yeah, looking at these smooth lows as well, that was my bias. So once I saw this 15-minute BPR, now this is a BPR. Once I saw this 15-minute BPR getting respected and price continuing lower, I was looking for this smooth low as well as these this equilibrium. Okay, so going on the 1 minute, this was the trade that I took. Let me go on MNQ, show you all the executions. Yeah, so we ended up forming, we had this data high right here, but I really did not, care too much about it because we don't have to hit data high. Especially if the high time frame is, we've already manipulated higher and we are looking for an expansion lower off of New York Open. I don't really care. But typically, yeah, like I would like to see the data high being swept before going lower, but this is set up was just great and I just had to take it. Everything aligned perfectly well. We also had a low time frame SMT at the highs, which is a even better confirmation for me. A singular, pretty obvious fair value gap. And bro, just look at the fucking distribution off of that inversion, bro. Hold up, y'all need to see this shit. Okay, and now I put my stop loss at the protected high, which is pretty much the SMT that was connected to it. You don't want to see price come up here, so it's a protected high. Okay, so put my stop loss all the way up here for about 20-point stop, and I ended up targeting this. What was it at? Went for about like a 2R. So yeah, it was this lower here. It was these smooth lows that I targeted. Okay, go on the 1 minute. Okay, and this was the execution, right? And pretty much, my thought process was right here. Obviously I could have entered right here, but typically I like to see a decent close. Like right here, if I entered right on this, that is a 1 point close below the BISI, okay? And typically, with the data that I've collected, a lot of those times, like if we close like 1 or 3 points below a fair value gap, it can fail a lot. So I want to see a solid close, like a solid 5 or more point close below this fair value gap before actually entering. So that's why I waited all the way down here, as well as we're fucking chopping. Like right here, we just have no displacement downwards, which kind of would give me extra confirmation and lower prices. And so I decided to enter right here, which is like, I think it was like somewhere within this candle that I entered, like lower down here. Once we like broke this low, stop loss up here, protected low, targeting these smooth lows. Stop loss was at, or stop loss break even was once we hit this extremely obvious low on the 15-minute. Okay, so about halfway. That's my model. So everything was perfectly aligned. Followed my rules. Everything just worked perfectly. We did end up inversing this SIBI right here. But I didn't really worry too much because I had a decent stop. My stop loss was placed not at break even like I usually would, but instead, based on just experience that I've had in similar situations, put my stop loss a little bit above consequent encroachment of this little order block right here, just in case the price wanted to run up and continue lower from there. But we completely failed to swing this right here, which I would consider this a breakaway gap looking at it now, hindsight. So yeah, like once we had fucking this reaction to this, I don't know if y'all boys can see it, this reaction right here itself was just fucking beautiful. Live, watching this live, let me show y'all. Watching this live was just absolutely beautiful. It distribute from that BPR. It was just very satisfying. Let me find this shit. Hold up. Live trading. What's it? I was jamming out. Am I tripping? Oh, hold up. Yeah, if y'all don't video or record your trading, live trading every single day, I highly recommend it. You are missing out on a lot of data that you could be collecting about your psychology and like what makes you tick, pretty much. If you do tick, or it's just like good for review as well. I like to review it. So let me turn this on 2-speed. What the fuck? My fault, boys. Oh, I'm tripping. Bro, I can't find it. Hello? Okay, so once I start seeing the displacement, I enter in the trade. Stop loss up here at the protected high. Yeah, let me just show you, let me just real quick replay on how we reacted to this inversion. Okay, barely tapped into it. And then look how we react. Boom. That's the type of shit that you want to see, okay? When you start seeing some shit like that, that's sufficient of a reaction to an inversion or a fair value gap or any PD array. And that much displacement, like out of nowhere, quick displacement, that is a very, you know, that is a very good sign you are in the right trade. Once it kind of got past this point, I was like, okay, this is the draw on liquidity. We're going lower. Okay. Okay. Hit the break even point, which is a smooth lows. Put stop loss. Consequent encouragement about halfway. Risking $33, not bad. And then just sat on my hands the entire time. I'm not going to move my stop loss. Not going to do any of that shit. Huge displacement after inversing this BISI, or this SIBI. Just inefficient price action. All good. From this obvious SIBI, we retraced into it, and we displaced off of it. So, yeah. So not a bad execution at all. I'm very happy with how I traded today, how I, you know, controlled my emotions when it comes to fear. Oh, this is so fucking close. As well as, you know, once the session was actually over with, once I was like done completely trading, we tapped into the equilibrium already. So we could have been looking for buys, but once I saw how we were reacting to this 15-minute SIBI and failing to close within it, we also formed SMT at these highs right here, okay? We formed SMT like between this high and this high on ES. Holding this SIBI, body's closing outside of it, and we are trying to push lower, okay? And once we inversed this 15-minute BPR and broke it, I was fully bearish, expecting lower price action, or lower prices all the way to this AM session low, as well as the prior day low. And as you can see right now, 6 p.m., 6:15, 6:17, my fault. It is about to hit the draw on liquidity, as I alerted in my Discord. Looking for sales to these levels, and I'm about to alert them again. So, yeah, if y'all want to join the Discord, it will be linked in the description. Hopefully, Friday. So, not trading tomorrow. It's Thursday, the day before NFP. Not taking the risk. And I'm just going to tape read. Just practice. I recommend y'all boys do the same. But yeah, hopefully I can find a trade on Friday. If not, we'll stay out. We'll take what we got this week and be happy with it and move on to next week, which is the presidential election. Right? My Bitcoin's going to fucking pump. All right? And the markets are going to go back to its normal volatility. I'm praying to God. I'm praying to God. All right, so we're going to start posting out some banger-ass recaps. Hopefully. Hopefully, boys. So, yeah, again, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Found something helpful from it. And if you want to join the Discord, again, that'll be all in the description. And hope you all have a blessed day. Peace out.